A Ukrainian missile maker's social media post has fueled speculation about Kiev's long-range strike ambitions. The post referenced the FP-5 Flamingo missile and appeared to warn Iran in a provocative graphic. The reported 3,000 km range claim has renewed debate over how far Ukraine's future strike capabilities could extend. The social media post has sparked fresh attention over Ukraine's messaging as geopolitical tensions continue to widen. Amid tensions, Ukraine hints its missiles have a longer reach than publicly known, emerging as a new threat to world peace. Ukrainian missile maker Firepoint hinted at the possibility of a future long-range strike on Iran through a social media post, drawing fresh attention to Kiev's evolving missile ambitions and regional messaging. Firepoint chief Denys Steilerman claimed the FP-5 Flamingo missile could fly up to 3,000 kilometers, suggesting it may be capable of striking targets far beyond Ukraine's immediate battlefield. The post featured an image of flamingos flying from Ukraine toward Iran, accompanied by a warning that appeared to signal the missile's reported range and potential reach. "We'll find out soon," the message said, implying the reported missile could eventually reach targets inside Iran, although no official technical details were released. No Ukrainian authority has confirmed the Flamingo's reported 3,000-kilometer range or verified that the missile is currently operational. It also remains unclear whether the reported FP-5 Flamingo is an operational weapon, an experimental prototype, or a future missile program still under development. The remarks came as Kiev continued accusing Tehran of supplying drones and military support to Russia, claims that have further strained relations between the two countries. Iran has repeatedly denied supplying weapons for the war beyond transfers it had previously acknowledged, rejecting accusations of continued military assistance. Analysts said Kiev's tougher rhetoric toward Iran also aligns with efforts to maintain strong political and military backing from the United States and Western allies. The latest warning followed a July attack on an Iranian cargo ship in the Caspian Sea that killed one sailor, further escalating tensions between Tehran and Kiev. Mojtaba Khamenei's advisor claimed on August 3 that Iran had prepared plans to strike 3 locations in Ukraine before the operation was halted. Mohsen Rizoi claimed Iran's armed forces had completed operational planning and were ready to act before the planned strikes were suddenly called off. Rizoi disclosed these details during an interview broadcast on Iranian state television while discussing Iran's recent military and diplomatic decisions. The senior Iranian official claimed the planned strikes were cancelled after what he described as an apology from Kiev, without providing further details. Iran did not reveal the locations of the 3 Ukrainian sites it claimed had been selected as potential targets for the planned operation. Rizoi also said Iran would not allow ships to use the Strait of Hormuz outside navigation corridors designated by Tehran. The advisor warned that any naval vessel using what Iran considers an illegal route through the Strait of Hormuz could face military action.
The wave-like attacks became more precise and intense. Missiles and drones were launched toward the U.S. base to such an extent that Kuwait was turned into ruins. Most forces have been displaced from there. In Erbil, more than 40 to 50 B-52 aircraft had arrived, and many forces were moved out of Erbil. More importantly, the CENTCOM command, which was in Qatar, first moved to Jordan. We also hit Jordan severely, so the commander moved from Jordan to Israel. What does this mean? It means that the apparatus for an imminent battle is being set up so that when they come to the Strait of Hormuz, they can command and provide support from nearby, both command and support for targeting operations in the Strait of Hormuz. Now there is no ceasefire, but our attacks have meaning. For example, we will by no means allow a second corridor to open in the Strait of Hormuz. Even if they bring an aircraft carrier, we will hit the carrier. If they bring military forces, we will hit them. For now, we threaten the ships not to go. Fortunately, many ships listen to our threats and turn back, and we do not engage. But some, who are clearly under complete pressure from the Americans, come. Well, they sustain some damage, and then they turn back themselves. I heard that yesterday, apparently, Mr. Trump said, we had an operation larger than World War II. His reference is to the very thing I am talking about. Yes, you're dreaming, Mr. Trump. You were in a dream and a fantasy. But why wasn't it implemented? Why didn't your people set foot on the ground? No, I cannot say it has been completely ruled out. But firstly, it has become very weak and the probability has decreased. Secondly, even if it is carried out, it will be limited. For example, in the form of a raid. forcing Ukraine to launch a ship attack. They also got in touch saying that, no, this was a mistake. We made a mistake. Well, we are currently investigating because we are prepared to strike 3 points in Ukraine. However, after they said it was a mistake, since we are not truly seeking to expand the war and we do not want to incite warmongering. Trump's third war was because they said, we will open the Strait of Hormuz, go in and seize Iran's oil and gas, cog, and so on. In northern Iran, we deploy air defense. There are only a few bridges and roads leading from north to south, most of which pass through highlands. Therefore, we take Iran's oil and gas, and the management of the Strait of Hormuz falls into our hands, removing it from Iran's control. Now, would the world tolerate this? Would even the Europeans tolerate the global economy's choke point being in America's hands? Would China tolerate it? This itself could have been a catalyst for World War III.
The remarks come as tensions remain high despite the reported collapse of the US-Iran Peace Memorandum of Understanding. The claim follows Iran's accusation that Ukraine was responsible for an attack on an Iranian commercial vessel in the Caspian Sea. Tehran said the July 25 attack killed one crew member and injured several others, according to Iranian media reports. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi later told his Ukrainian counterpart that Tehran expects compensation over the reported attack on the commercial vessel. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha held what he described as a frank phone conversation with his Iranian counterpart on July 28. The call followed Iran's accusations that Ukraine attacked an Iranian commercial vessel in the Caspian Sea. Kiev maintains that its July 25 drone operation targeted Russian vessels allegedly transporting military cargo. Ukraine insists all of its military actions are focused solely on defending itself against Russian aggression. Sybiha stressed that Ukraine never intended to target civilian ships or innocent civilians.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you'll have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.